An admiral wins the biggest sea battle of a 7-year war, and in the middle of it, a bullet finds him. He has maybe a minute left to live, so he gives one final order. Not avenge me, not save me. He says, don't tell anyone I'm dead. Keep fighting, beat the drum, let them think I'm still standing. This is the story of a man who won a war by hiding his own death. And it's the last day in the life of an admiral who fought 23 battles and never lost a single one. You already watched him beat 300 ships with 13. Now, watch how it ends. It's December 1598. Korea has been at war for almost 7 years. And here's the strange part. The war is already over. The man who started the whole thing, Toyotomi Hideyoshi, the warlord who dreamed of conquering China and used Korea as his doorway, is dead. Died in his castle back in September. And with him gone, Japan's ruling council gave one simple order to every soldier stuck in Korea. Come home. So the invaders aren't trying to conquer anymore. They just want to leave. Pack up the fortresses, load the ships, sail back across the sea, and never look at this coastline again. Admiral Yi Sun-sin has about 36 hours left to live. He doesn't know that yet. What he knows is that he is not going to let them leave. Which raises an obvious question. If the enemy is already leaving, why fight them at all? Why not just let them go? That was exactly what one of Yi's own allies suggested. You are a sailor on Admiral Yi Sun-sin's flagship. Beside you in the Allied camp is a Chinese admiral named Chen Lin. The Ming Empire sent a fleet to help, and Chen commands it. Chen's view is reasonable. The war's won, boys. Let the Japanese row home and let's all keep our heads. Yi disagrees. And the reason he disagrees tells you everything about the man. To Yi, letting the invaders sail away clean isn't peace. It's letting the people who burned his country's villages walk out the front door with a wave. The Japanese trapped in the western fortress, 15,000 men under a commander named Konishi, are begging for rescue. A huge relief fleet is coming to break them out. Yi's plan? Don't let a single one of them leave. One problem. He's about to pick a fight with 500 ships, and every brilliant choice he's about to make will also put him closer to the one bullet that finds him. Let's talk about what Yi is actually walking into, because the numbers matter. The Japanese relief fleet, around 500 vessels, carrying some 20,000 men, commanded by a hardened warlord named Shimazu Yoshihiro. Yi's side, the combined Korean and Chinese fleet, roughly 150 to 200 ships between them. Now, before you panic on Yi's behalf, a lot of those 500 Japanese ships are light transports, not warships. This isn't 13 against 300 like last time, but it's still badly lopsided, at night, in freezing December water. And the man leading the enemy is not an idiot. Shimazu is one of the most feared commanders Japan has. Remember how this ends. Yi wins this, and Yi dies here. Keep that in your head as you watch him set the trap, because he's about to be brilliant, right up until the moment he isn't lucky. So Yi doesn't fight fair. He never does. He picks the ground. A narrow strait called Noryang, a choke point between the mainland and an island, where the sea funnels tight. Wide water lets 500 ships spread out and use their numbers. Narrow water means only a few can fight at a time, and the rest just pile up behind, useless. Yi knows exactly where the enemy is. Fishermen and scouts have been feeding him reports for days. Shimazu, meanwhile, has no idea Yi is even there. Around 2 o'clock in the morning, in the dark, the Allied fleet slides into position at the western mouth of the strait. Cannons loaded, fire arrows ready. Everyone's silent. And they wait for 500 ships to row straight into the trap. You are standing on the deck. It is pitch black. You can't see the enemy yet, but you can hear them. Hundreds of oars, somewhere out in the dark, getting louder. The first Japanese ships enter the strait. and the night tears open. Chen Lin's Ming squadron opens with fire arrows and incendiary boats, burning hulls drifting into the tightly packed Japanese line. Yi's cannon roar from the other side. Ships catch fire in the dark and light up the whole strait like a furnace. The Japanese are caught exactly where Yi wanted them, bunched together, unable to maneuver, unable to bring their numbers to bear. As in every battle Yi ever fought, the enemy can't answer the Korean cannon. But here's the thing about a trapped animal. It doesn't lie down. Shimazu's men fight like people who know that this water is the only road home. It turns into a brawl. Ships ramming, grappling hooks, sailors leaping deck to deck with swords in the firelight. This isn't clean cannon range warfare anymore. It's close, and it's ugly, and it's personal. The fight that started at 2 a.m. is still raging as the sky begins to turn gray. Hours of it. And in the middle of that chaos, the Allied commanders do something dangerous. Yi and an old Chinese admiral named Deng Zilong push their flagships right into the thickest fighting, leading from the front. That decision is about to cost more than anyone expects. Dawn is coming. The Japanese are breaking. Dozens of their ships already burning or sunk. The rest trying desperately to claw their way back out to open sea. Yi is at the front of his flagship, in the open, directing the pursuit, beating the war drum himself, fully exposed. And from a fleeing Japanese ship, a single arquebus, a matchlock gun, fires into the smoke. The bullet hits him under the arm. He goes down on the deck. Only a handful of men are close enough to see it. His son, his nephew, a few officers. And in the seconds he has left, Yi Sun-sin does not cry out. He does not call for a doctor. He grabs the men nearest him and gives his last order. According to Korean records, his final words were something close to this. The battle is at its height. Do not announce my death. The war is almost won. The men are still fighting. And Yi understands something in his final moment that most people never grasp in a lifetime. If the fleet learns their unbeatable admiral just died, in the middle of the fight could collapse. Panic, hesitation, the trapped enemy slips away. So the greatest admiral in history spends his last breath making sure nobody finds out he stopped breathing. And then he's gone. Now watch what his family does. His nephew, some accounts say his son, picks up the fallen admiral's war drum, puts on Yi's armor, and keeps beating the rhythm in the admiral's place, where the fleet can see the flagship still driving forward. To every sailor in that strait, Korean and Chinese alike, nothing has changed. The admiral still stands. The drum still beats. The flagship still leads the charge. So they keep fighting like he's alive, because as far as they know, he is. The Japanese fleet is shattered. Of the 500 ships that came to force the passage, only a fraction limp back to their harbor. Some accounts say as few as 50 escaped. The relief mission fails completely, and without it, every remaining Japanese stronghold in Korea is doomed. The 7-year war is over. Korea won, and only after the last enemy sail has turned and run does the truth move through the fleet. The Chinese admiral, Chen Lin, the one who'd wanted to just let the Japanese leave, comes looking for Yi to thank him. Instead, he's told the admiral has been dead for hours. The story goes that Chen was so stunned, he collapsed to the deck, again and again, beating his chest and weeping. The man had won the battle. He'd been winning it, dead. Here's the number that should stop you. 23 naval battles. That's how many Yi Sun-sin fought against the Japanese over that war. He won all 23, every single one. Many of them outnumbered, outgunned, and abandoned by his own government, which had once thrown him in prison and tortured him before crawling back to beg him to save them. He never lost, not once. And the only thing that ever stopped him was a stray bullet on the morning of his final victory. 400 years later, Koreans still call him Chungmugong, Lord of Loyal Valor. His face is on their money. His statue watches over Seoul. Even Japanese admirals, the descendants of the men he beat, studied him and called him one of the greatest naval commanders who ever lived. You started this video watching a man give away his own death to win a war. Now you know why the world never forgot his name. And if you haven't seen the battle that made him a legend, 13 ships against an armada of 300 in a strait where the tide itself fought on his side, that story is one click away. The Admiral's waiting for you.